This is the reason why I can't take black men in the comment section talking about, well, this one particular woman that was deleted by the white man. I have sympathy for her. Rest in peace. I looked at her Facebook. I didn't see her not saying a bad word against black men or black people. I didn't see her not saying a bad word on any of her social media. It doesn't matter, dude. You soft black men that always want to have sympathy for these black women. See, I said this before and I'm going to say it again. There's a lot of people that will never say the N-word, black or white, but they will still have negative opinions about their own people that they never ever publicly broadcasted. In other words, a lot of these black women, they are the quiet haters of their own people, like a lot of these white people. They automatically assume the worst. And not only that, this woman here was defending her white ex-fiance cop when he was circulating all of these disturbing images of her own people, circulating all of these disturbing images of her own people. This is what I'm talking about. Her defense of this man is disgusting. This is indefensible. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. How can you defend this? And let me also say something, because something just flashed in my head when somebody says, these people get in the comments section, they say everybody's racist. That's a lie. That's what racist white people say. I can confidently tell you that 24 hours a day, I'm not circulating images of myself or with other black people, videos of white people being harmed. I don't think in that way. I go to work, I come home, I go to the gym, I do normal things. I don't think about evil stuff like this. And nobody that I know does this. We're just living our lives. But she defends somebody like this, right? I'm going to play a little bit of this, brother, Only Logical. This is why I don't say rest in peace to these divestors and these swirlers, because they knowingly lay up with trash and they support trash. They will sit here. I had a woman tell me a long time ago, rather loud in front of a lot of people. This was over 20 years ago, a black woman, I know most of her family. She said, "You are really cute, but I could never get with you because you are a security guard." And I said, "Oh, whatever." Like, I never wanted to be with her anyway, you know what I'm saying? But I could never get with you because, you're a security guard. But yet some of these same women, right? Some of these same women will get with a white man who doesn't have a job, who's struggling, who's going through financial hell. But because he's white, like David Carroll said, she is willing to do what? His white skin covers up a multitude of imperfections. He can be racist. He can be crazy. Let me just play the video. And this is what I think about most swirlers. A lot of them will never say the N-word publicly, whatever. A lot of them will their social media timeline will never say nothing negative about black men. But they'll do shit like this. This is what they'll do.
fact that they weren't raped en masse by white men. You can take that as you will. Moving on, the divester decides to protect a racist white cop next.
New at 6, one of the 4 Fort Lauderdale police officers fired in a racist text message scandal spent the day fighting to get his job back. He brought a witness to an arbitration hearing who he claims proves he's not a racist. CBS 4's Gary Nelson is live in Fort Lauderdale with more. Gary.
This white police officer fired over alleged bigotry appealed that dismissal today. It might not have hurt that he had help from his black girlfriend who testified on his behalf. Fired Fort Lauderdale cop Jason Holding trying to persuade an arbitrator to order him rehired. An uphill climb after these racist photos of the president, of blacks being attacked by police dogs, even mock on-the-spot executions of minorities showed up on the cell phones of Officer Holding and 3 other cops. Holding got help today from his African-American girlfriend. They became an item after the allegations against him surfaced.
There are people that make mistakes. There are people that say things that they don't mean. He's a cop. He shouldn't have said the word. Correct.
Officer James Wells.
This is not a mistake. Keisha, white supremacist Keisha, this is not a mistake. In all the decades of my life, I don't seek out this kind of material. I don't seek out material where people are getting murdered and when dogs are biting on people. I don't watch stuff like that because it's sick and it's disgusting, Keisha. This was not a mistake. In all of the decades of my life, I've never had kitty porn on my phone because I don't do stuff like this. Why is she defending this behavior? Because she's a disgusting person. She's a white supremacist. That's the reason she's calling that a mistake. You see, when you give aid and comfort to your enemy, what does the United States call that? They call that you are providing material support to terrorism. This is exactly what this is. And because we foundational Black Americans do not have a separate parallel government, if we did, I would have her charged with treason. And what is the penalty for treason? We already know what that is. Let's go.
Here, Officer Alex Alvarez, Officer Holding, and a 4th Lauderdale cop all lost their jobs as a result of their racist communications. The police chief...
Alvarez, there's a lot of these Hispanic males. You see, he was doing the same thing. He was forwarding all this stuff and they were laughing at it. You mean to tell me that these people have not engaged in police brutality against Black people? When you're forwarding stuff like this, when you're laughing at dogs biting on Black people, when you're laughing at Black people being executed by police or whatever, you mean to tell me that you can be an effective police officer? Seriously? And I'm at this point where they need to go to their past cases and go through all of their body cams with a fine-tooth comb. These are the people who do what? 0 to 60 violence against Black people. 0 to 60. Let me stop this. Let me continue.
Today saying it doesn't matter if the cops exchanged bigoted texts on their private phones.
Off duty, on duty, whatever you do, once it comes to light, you're a police officer, everyone is going to look at your actions.
As his parents cried,
that I'm not a racist. I never have been a racist. I never will be a racist.
Holding said his frequent use of the N-word may have been influenced by working a tough inner-city neighborhood. The chief and city leaders say the behavior of the 4 officers set community relations back decades.
This is pure hatred and racism. It is obviously morally repugnant, and we cannot have this in our community.
Saying hate speech is not free speech if you're a cop.
This mock movie trailer allegedly made by a Fort Lauderdale police officer shows disturbing images like a Ku Klux Klan hood, President Barack Obama with large gold teeth, and Black people being threatened and attacked. The video now has the attention of the FBI Civil Rights Division.
And we'll be meeting this week with the FBI Civil Rights Division. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're very interested as to what their activity has been since they've been on our department.
The city said Officer Alex Alvarez made the video and that he and 3 other officers, Christopher Sosa, Jason Holdings, and James Wells, engaged in a pattern of rape.
Officer Alex Alvarez, Hispanic man made the video. And these are all these type of men that black women love. The swirlers, right? I don't care that they are laying down with other races of men. The point of this channel, Only Logical, and my channel, is to show that a lot of these races of men, they hate black people, right? A lot of Hispanics, they hate black people, right? And coincidentally, a lot of them are on the police force in a lot of these different states like California. There's a lot of these Hispanics. And how do you think they treat black people? You see what I'm saying? But yet Keisha wants to fall in love with these different races of people. You know, Hispanics are very racist, you know, and we already know a lot of these white officers are ridiculously racist, but this is who she wants to lay down with. These people who claim, these people who have the most hatred towards her own people. And she has the nerve to show up at a hearing to help him save his job. I just, this is amazing. She will give her all to another community of people, but she will never do this to her own community. I wish that they would have the same energy to teach young black boys to read on a better level. BGS Itmar covers that all the time. That has been our persistent problem in a lot of these foundational black American communities. The reading level needs to get up. But she doesn't want to work on that. She wants to sleep with racist men because her lust is more important than the advancement of her own people. Let's go.
Text messages about the people they were policing. The video and text messages were turned over to police in October by Alvarez's former fiancée. Fort Lauderdale police announcing Friday Sosa, Holdings, and Wells were fired following an internal investigation, while Alvarez resigned in advance of being fired.
There is zero tolerance for this type of behavior.
Video and that he and 3 other officers, Christopher Sosa, Jason Holdings, and James Wells, engaged in a pattern of racist text messages about the people they were policing. The video and text messages were turned over to police in October by Alvarez's former fiancée. Fort Lauderdale police announcing Friday Sosa, Holdings, and Wells were...
Christopher Sosa, probably Dominican. Jason Holdings, a white man, right? James Wells, a white man. And Alex Alvarez, a Hispanic man, probably Mexican-American. These are all the type of men that these swirlers love to lay up with. And if you are with these type of men that are always forwarding these violent, racist videos, and these men just happen to be cops, and these men, you already know, are on the regular beating black people, male and female, right? What makes you think that this pit bull that you love so much is not going to turn on you eventually? How can you sit here? This is the whole point of it, right? It's 5.5, every 5.5 hours, that lie that black men are deleting black women, but yet she ends up with race soldiers in black uniforms. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. And this is the reason why I say that if you have a black daughter and if she brings a white man home, disown her. You should have been telling her ever since she was a child, don't even think about it. Matter of fact, if you have a wet dream in your mind of you having sex with a white man, I will disown you. You will never bring this garbage home. Never.
fired following an internal investigation, while Alvarez resigned in advance of being fired.
There is zero tolerance for this type of behavior.
Now to a story that's closer to home out of Fort Lauderdale, where 4 police officers are off the force tonight for exchanging racially offensive text messages. One of them also accused of producing a racist video, and it comes just days after a similar incident with the San Francisco police force. ABC's Ron Claiborne reports.
An African-American man attacked by dogs, a wanted poster for an escaped slave, a Klansman's hood. Those are just some of the disturbing images featured in a racially charged mock movie trailer made by a Fort Lauderdale police officer. The images so repelling, so offensive, we can only show these brief excerpts. Also uncovered racist text messages by 3 other officers, leading to the dismissal of 3 of them on Friday. The 4th officer quit in January.
The inappropriate racist behavior exhibited by those involved is unacceptable and reprehensible.
The person that snitched on them and got them fired was a white girl, by the way, while the divester was defending the racist. Interesting enough, if you listen to the video, the divester was just a pump and dump used to hide his racism. Most racist cops run through black women and underage black girls in black neighborhoods. I used to see it in my old neighborhood. Anyway, the divester has since moved on to a new white man. And yes, that is her. This is definitely the same divester. She married a different white man and wants to pretend as if she never slept with or defended a racist white cop or a sex offender. Watch all the black girl this, Black Lives Matter and white people racist rant she posts.
And America's racist. Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Full stop. If you vote for him again, you're a white supremacist. Full stop.
Okay, so let me send this really quick.
This is a serious form of mental illness. It really is. Coupled with when they have a disagreement with us, we're all gay, but the white man that she's married to right now, he doesn't look like he's the epitome of masculinity. She can defend a racist white man for using the N-word and forwarding images of black people getting killed and bitten by dogs. And yet she shows up in another movie, you know, the movie of her life. You know, I mean, this is insane.
Don't call me at 7 o'clock in the morning on my cell phone during Black History Month for work purposes. Unless you're like, let's go for mimosas, don't call me. Don't call me asking about work stuff at 7 a.m., knowing damn well I don't wake up until a smooth 9:15. Roll out of bed and jump on my computer. Do you know it's February? Point blank period. I'm going to give y'all a free tip of the week, right? To these like big companies, startups, corporations. Pay black women what they're worth. Do not make them super visible points of contact at your company and then underpay and undervalue them. It's performative. Do better.
Notice how she is telling whites to do better, yet she has a history being used to defend the most racist, disgusting white men. Now you see why divestors and black women get called the right hand of white supremacy.
Always with the stupid dances. And you see how I said before, you can see them, you can spot them. They only hang out with white people. See, she may never, ever publicly use the N-word or use the N-word on social media. But the minute I see a black woman like this and she has nothing but white girlfriends and she only marries white guys, she's a white supremacist. This is exactly, and don't tell me about preference, because look at her actions. Look at her actions. She defended a racist white man that laughed and made fun of her people being killed and tortured by dogs. This is insane. This is insane.
The pro-blackness is very fake. They pretend to be pro-black because the white man won't protect them, and they know this, so while they pretend to be pro-black and come around black people, just know she will be right there to defend the racist if a racist white person does something to you. She is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Swirlers will worship and fight tooth and nail to protect the image of white men, while white men never do the same for them, but they absolutely hate the guts of those white men's mothers, sisters, grandmothers. Nothing about their logic makes any sense, and when you try to ask them to explain their line of thinking, they get mad and say, you just hate black women. Imagine being married to a racist sympathizer and a sex offender sympathizer. The scary part is, they walk among you black men in the black neighborhoods and towns you live in. Anyway, email and links will be in the description box.
And let me just say this closing out. There is a young woman that I personally have known ever since she was little. And she, even though she has two girls from two different men, right? She has two girls from two different men. She married a very rich white male. She's 30 years old. She married a very, very, very rich white male. And you know what? He doesn't have any kids. You want to know how he pulled that off? How she pulled that off? Because she's about a solid 7.5. Yes, she is. Even at 30, she's a solid 7.5. She married him and she moved in his house. And she thought she was going to move her daughters in there. And he told her, hell no, and your kids cannot live here. Right? I think the N-word came out. Your N-word kids can't live here. Right? Isn't this amazing? Her daughters don't like her. They do. I mean, they love her because she's their mother. But on the same token, there's a lot of animosity there because she threw them under the bus. They live in different places, in different houses. These swirlers will do anything to be with a white man. Even, I mean, it's just, I'm done talking. This is disgusting. And if she ends up, this one right here, if she ends up deleted by one of these guys, don't ask me for sympathy. I'm gonna call you a simp, because if you see videos like this and you still have sympathy for these traitors, then you are a clown. you are a clown.